From fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada, it's Casino Secrets with Vegas Vic and Ziggy.
Hello, I'm Vegas Vic. Welcome to the continuation of our recent Periscope broadcast.
It's an interesting question.
Yes.
And I'm about to say, at first it seemed silly, but maybe there's a poker game where this is true.
Yes.
Is there any kind of game where a pair of twos
Yes.
would actually beat a pair of aces? As if the aces were only worth one, and therefore a pair of aces is only two, whereas two twos would be four. So is there any kind of game where a pair of twos would beat out a pair of aces?
Is there any kind of a poker game where a pair of twos would beat a pair of aces just by themselves without being helped, I assume?
Right.
Yeah, not to my knowledge. I don't know of any casino poker game personally where this would be the case. There are derivative poker games. Basically, if you play a home game, you can set any kind of rules that you want. But in traditional poker games that are played in major casinos, by those I mean Texas Hold'em, Omaha 8, 7-card stud high-low, Raz, 5-card draw, low ball. It's just not going to be the
Deuce
case.
is wild.
Deuce is Wild as a regular poker game, it's really not played that way. It's a Deuce is Wild game is played on video poker machines, and that's completely different because Deuce is Wild is not two deuces will not beat two aces. The deuces will be wild, so they will substitute for whatever those cards might be.
Right.
So if you have two aces and two deuces, now you have four aces. That's the point of Deuce is Wild. But again, it's not a traditional poker game played with cards in poker rooms. And so I personally don't know of any game like that, unless it's a home game where you make up your own rules, which is of course possible.
I have a video poker question. All right.
Yes. Video poker question.
Video poker question. Because I'm becoming a little suspicious. I have been defending that that video poker machines, you can see the payout, and that's the pay. However, I play in certain bars or certain places, and I never win. I lose very quickly, and this is always the case at like this particular bar. Now, I've played long enough to know that it can be more. I can't just be that unlucky all the time every time I go to that bar, even though I'm playing the same game.
Okay, now Ziggy, you're talking about one of the things that I would advise against, and that is, first of all, the mistake you're making is that you're playing at a bar.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about I'm playing the same game in video poker.
It's not the same game. Bars have different regulations than casinos, and they are not covered under the same gaming control conditions. They are covered under what's called a route operator. It's not a casino. A route operator is an organization that runs the BarTop slots in BarTops, and they are not governed by the same set of rules as casinos themselves.
No shit.
That's why I have constantly been advising you not to play at bars, and I've told you this over the many years that we've known each other, and that's why I will never ever play video poker in bars or anything else that's available in bars. And the reason for that is because the games in bars are run completely differently and under completely different regulatory conditions than they are in the casinos. Now, I'm not saying that particular bar is doing something to their games.
Okay.
And I'm not saying that your experiences are somehow related to this particular series of conditions. Mm-hmm. It could be that when you say every time, this is a very small slice of the overall life cycle of that machine at that bar.
I understand that.
It could be that you just happen to be unlucky and sit at that game at the specific moment where that particular game is not going to do what you expected based upon the payback percentage that is inherent in this program. Now, this much said is that it is an inescapable and inevitable fact that BarTop slots in casino bars, or specifically bars that are outside of a casino, like a sports bar or any other bar,
right,
are not only governed, those are not only governed under route operator rules, which is a completely different category under Game Control Board rules and regulations for operators, and they are notoriously bad payers. That doesn't mean that they don't pay, that just means that they don't pay the same way as the same game would be in the casino. And that's why I would suggest that if you play video poker, you always play it at a casino. If you want to play at a bar, play at a casino bar, but be conscious of the fact that the same game at the casino bar is a worse payer than the same game on the casino floor.
All right, I want to expand on this because
Yes.
I'm playing bonus poker.
Yes.
Okay, what I'll call a 6-5 machine.
Yes.
Okay. All right, where the 2 pair pays 2.
Yes.
All right, all right, got that. Play that game at a casino. I play that same game in a bar. All right. You're telling me these are 2 different rules of how these games are programmed. So how can the bar game pay less than a casino?
Now, what I said is that the route operator is covered under.
I don't know what a route operator is.
A route operator is a company that operates the slot machines in numerous bars which are not located inside a casino.
Okay.
And their gaming license is different from a casino gaming license.
Okay.
And they are governed by a different set of rules as a result. Now, to answer your question, first of all, the problem you are doing is that you are playing a game that is a 6-5 game.
Yeah, that's not my point.
That is the point.
No, that's not.
Okay, let me try to answer the question.
Okay.
First of all, if you sit at any machine, which is bonus poker, which is less than 8-5. Now, for the viewers who don't know what that is the full house and flush pay for 1 coin. And if you would like to know more about that, I actually have in this book, Great Casino Slots Volume 4, a whole section on some of the video poker games, the latest ones, including the programs and percentages. I showed you earlier in an earlier version of this broadcast some of the pages in there. So that's very good. I have also written a book called Powerful Profits from Video Poker, where I list every one of these payback percentages. Anyway, Ziggy, to answer your question. First of all, if you are a bonus poker player, where 2 pair pays 2 to 1 as opposed to 1.
Right.
If you play any game which is less than 8-5, then you're a loser before you ever started, and I would say that you might as well burn your money and get some warmth out of it because you're not going to have any satisfaction.
I understand that.
I know you understand that, Ziggy, but let me point out to you that that by starting the game at 6-5 instead of at least the minimum 8-5, which is the standard for the game, you are already playing a machine that will not play the same way as you would expect it if it was an 8-5 machine. You will not get as many pays, and you will not get them. And that's one of the reasons why you run into machines that don't seem to pay, as you said, each and every time.
Let me rephrase the question.
Okay, rephrase the question.
In bar A...
We're having a nice argument here, folks.
Well, because you're answering a different question than I'm asking.
Okay, well then, feel free to come in and have our... I don't even know if you can hear him from way over there.
They can hear me.
Yeah.
In bar A,
yes, in bar A,
I'll drink there, and I'll play different machines, different times, and I will hit more 4 of a kinds in that bar than if I play the same exact machine in bar B, where I almost never hit a 4 of a kind.
Yes.
So I'm asking you, how is that possible? The amount of video poker I play, okay. I have enough data for a long haul kind of thing.
Yes,
I can't be that unlucky every single time.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Did you check the rest of the pay schedule on those machines? Is it identical to the other ones? Because Is every single one identical? And I would challenge you on that, because next time, let me give you this challenge.
You know what? You're not answering my question.
Well, I'm trying to answer it.
You keep going to the pay table. 2 identical payout machines in bonus poker.
Right.
Both 6-5.
Okay.
Bar A, Bar B. In Bar A, I win more. I hit more. I get more 4 of a kinds.
Yeah.
In Bar B, I get less. I'm asking you, why would that happen?
Okay, I have 2 answers for you. If you let me give them to you, I have 2 answers for you. Answer number 1. It is possible that Bar B has an altered pay table somewhere else that you're not seeing. And it could be just as simple as a single change and single coin elsewhere in the table. Excuse me. I'm sorry, I'm starting to get a little bit dry here. Hold on a second. I'll have to edit this out later. Okay, answer. Bar B.
Mm-hmm.
It is quite possible that in bar B, there is a slight alteration elsewhere in the pay table that you are not seeing. So I would suggest that before we actually definitively answer this question, what you do is you take a screenshot with your cell phone of bar A's pay table, and then take another one of bar B's pay table, and you email them to me, and I will compare them. And then we can have another broadcast where I can update our audience on what the results were. Because I suspect that there is a little tweak somewhere else in the pay table that's causing this. Now that's answer one. Now I may be wrong on that, and I'll be happy to admit it if once we check the pay tables. Answer B. Answer two, and it's actually three answers. Answer two. It could be that for whatever reasons, the universe that surrounds your luck favors you at bar A and makes you a donkey in bar B. Okay. Now, does that sound kind of stupid? Yes, it does. And now, if all else is equal, if the program has not been tampered with, if there has been no change in the pay table, and if there has been nothing else that is underhandedly being tweaked that we don't know about, then we can put it down to karma. And I can attest to this from my own personal experience. There are some casinos in Las Vegas where I'm always lucky. And there are other casinos in Las Vegas where no matter what the game is, I am just simply not that lucky. Now, it could be that when you, Ziggy, go to bar A, you go there with a different set of circumstances and you happen to be hitting it at a time when those machines are more optimally primed to give you those more frequent 4-of-a-kinds. And when you go to bar B, it's just a different set of circumstances, different karma, for example. That could be it. And this is not a logical answer. It is an illogical answer based upon simply circumstances that could be mathematically explained, of course, because on one hand you have a positive anomaly in the statistical equivalency of the mathematics of the game, while on the other hand you have a comparatively negative experience of the statistical equivalency of the game. So if you compare the negative with the overly positive and you average it out, in the end of life cycle of the math of the game, it will equate to the percentage that you expect. It's just that you are seeing it differently. You are recognizing the wins because they have an emotional relationship to you, and you are recognizing the losses because they have an emotional relationship to you.
They have a financial relationship.
And a financial relationship. So yeah, but you're focusing on the extremes where it just could be the fact that the mathematics of the game will simply equate in the end.
Okay, go ahead.
But there is a third answer.
Okay, go ahead.
And the third answer could be that in bar B, the games themselves may not necessarily be, shall we say, calibrated as they should be.
That's where I'm trying to go.
Okay, now, whether or not that is true, and I cannot say that for certain, I haven't been there, I don't know what they are, but whether that is true or not would require investigation, and that means that not just your experiences, but other person's experiences. We would have to have a sampling of, say, 100 or 500 or 1,000 players in that bar to find out if every one of them has the same experience as you on that machine. Because if it is, it could be one of a number of reasons. One, the game could be malfunctioning. And through no fault of anybody's, there could be some, dust in the relay or whatever. It could be that, the game simply hasn't been, cleaned and primed and rebooted in a while.
The game or games plural? Because I'm talking about regardless of when.
Well, maybe all the games in that bar. Maybe somebody spilled a drink over the games at some point and just didn't get cleaned up properly, and it's not.
So that can happen.
Yes, it can happen. I'm talking about possibilities.
That's what I'm asking. Possibilities.
All of these things are possible. Whether they're actual or not requires investigation. Your perspective, just one person between bar A and bar B, is not enough of a sampling to be able to determine for absolutely certain whether or not these are just your personal prejudices the way you see it, or whether this is an actual systematic experience from people who have been been Barbie playing that way. So I would suggest that you strike up conversations with other patrons of Barbie and ask them what their experiences have been and how long they've been playing there. And if you find a preponderance of negativity, then there is grounds for some kind of additional investigations. And what you can do is you can anonymously call the gaming control board and ask them to investigate.
All right.
Hello, Vegas Vic back again. Thank you very much for watching our program. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. It's very easy. Just click the subscribe button on your screen. It only takes a second, and then you'll be notified every time we post a video. You can also follow me on Twitter. My handle is @GamingAuthor. So until next time, I'll see you soon. So long.